Hello, I'm Joseph Peterson, and welcome to Channel P5 News.
Hello, my name is Malik, and welcome to the Mueller Report. Hi, welcome to Edenville, a small nowhere town. Down here in Edenville, not much happens. Every little piece of gossip and change is exchanged and spread super quickly. The lack of news leads the people of this town to fixate their attention on one poor animal, Mr. Matt Boner's mule. This mule is the subject of much gossip. It is overworked and underfed by Mr. Boner. Mr. Boner protests that he feeds it more than enough and that he does not work it too hard. But now, a new development just took place that might turn this whole story on its head. Hello, Mr. Stark. Please take a seat. Of course. Now, is it true that you bought Mr. Boner's mule? It sure is. Well, why did you buy the mule? Well, you see, Jenny, my wife, she... Well, you see, Janie, my wife, she was always so sorry for the sick, tired, poor animal. So, me, being the generous man that I am, decided to buy it for her. What do you plan to do with the mule now? Well, given that it's been through so much in its hard life, I decided I'm just gonna give it a comfortable, nice end of its life, you know? Are you sad about the end of the town's gossip around the mule? Oh, hell no! This is my town, and I don't want any kind of gossip going around. This mule will make sure that there's no more gossip. This mule is an icon of Edenville. Don't you think that the townspeople will just move on to some new thing to gossip over? They better not. My town, my rules. If they don't like it, they can get the hell out. Well, that's it, folks. This is possibly the last ever recording of the Mueller Report.
Weather!
Today's weather forecast shows clear weather all day, with a low chance of cloudy coverage later on in the evening.
And now for our rabies report from Mauricio.
Just released a warning about the rising rabies infections. Illness can... It is important to try to stay in the city to avoid disease, where there is less exposure to wildlife and more access to medical care. Save yourself and loved ones from the rabies disease with this information. The most common way to contract this is saliva infection from a rabid animal. For example, getting the fluid directly into your eyes, nose, mouth, or wound. Common rabid animals include bats, raccoons, opossums, and striped skunk. However, this does not limit other animals such as dogs. Being bit by a rabid dog is just as bad as any other animal. Be aware not to approach any of these animals before knowing for certain that it is not ill. Being bit by any rabid of this species almost guarantees you will get rabies. If you are bitten, try to see a doctor as soon as possible. A rabid dog is just as bad as being bit by any other animal. Be aware not to approach these animals before knowing for certain that it is not ill. Being bit by any rabid of these species almost guarantees you will get rabies. If you are bitten, try to see a doctor as soon as possible. Immediate side effects include fever, muscle weakness, tingling, and if bitten, burning at the bite site. If the disease is not treated, other symptoms of the two types of rabies may occur. Serious rabies can cause hyperactive, excitable, and reactive behavior. Other characteristics include insomnia, anxiety, confusion, agitation, hallucination, excess saliva, colon swelling, and fear of water.
Oh my god!
This is probably the one your husband has. Paralytic rabies can lead to paralyzation, a coma, and eventually death. Physical appearance may not be altered that much. Without treatment, both types will be fatal. There may also be emotional tolls to the disease. For example, your husband may be distant, jealous, and exhibit other strange mentalities. If you are scared that yourself, your husband, or another loved one is infected, get them to a doctor immediately. To treat this disease, one needs to receive a series of 5 shots over the course of 14 days. If you are bitten or your husband was bitten on the cheek by a dog, the wound will have to be rinsed at least 15 minutes with soap and water, detergent, or iodine. Side effects of the treatment may include pain, swelling, or itching at the injection site, headache, nausea, stomach pain, muscle aches, and dizziness.
Weather!
Today's weather forecast shows a possible slight windstorm developing in the south, increasing wind speeds and cloudy skies with a high chance of rainfall. In other news, fruit produce prices have been on the rise as we approach the end of the season.
Weather!
Hello, I'm at the center of Eatonville, here to witness the lighting of the first lamp in a colored town. Well, hello again, Mr. Stark. Well, hello. So, it's my understanding that you paid for this lamp. I did more than pay for it. I orchestrated this entire ordeal. Every time they brought me a tree branch that was a little crooked, or the color was just a little bit off, I sent them back for another one. Now, it's only moments away from lighting the lamp. I orchestrated a barbecue, I got everything together. The whole town's over here. Folks, the sun is going up, it's down. The sun maker brings it up in the morning, and the sun maker sends it to bed at night. Us poor weak humans do nothing to hurry it up nor slow it down. All we can do, if we want any light, after the setting or before the rising, is to make some light ourselves. But we all assembled here to light this lamp. This occasion is something for all of us to remember. This is the first street lamp in a colored town. Lift your eyes and gaze upon it. Let the light penetrate you. Let it shine. Well, thanks. It's my town and I can do what I want. That was quite a show that you put on. Thanks for your time. Okay, folks, that's all. Thank you for tuning in to this Daily Eatonville podcast.
Weather!
Today's weather forecast shows a possible slight windstorm developing in the south, with increasing wind speeds and cloudy skies, and a high chance of rainfall. In other news,
領毛嘟嘛嘟嘛，領毛明啊不拽的啊。
He wants to
Kacamar
say
Shikije.
he's innocent in the Amber Alert where he stole a 2-year-old child, even though she was found trapped in his basement.
Alright, we're gonna start with some.
お前はもう死んでいる。何？大匠で
Weather!
the weather forecasted for today shows the storm continuing into Florida as it continues to approach, although still expected to be a weak storm with slight winds and rain over the next few days.
Weather!
Breaking news, we interrupt with a special weather report. A massive hurricane is headed directly toward Florida. This hurricane is reported to be one of the most powerful on record and is suspected to strike hardest in the Everglades and Eatonville area. This has been reported to be a Category 5 hurricane and is expected to have catastrophic damage. Winds have been projected to reach over 150 miles per hour. Heavy rains are expected to continue for many hours, reaching between 5 and 10 inches. A storm surge caused by the hurricane's atmospheric pressure changes and strong winds is expected as well, which could raise the sea level up 13 feet. Homes and buildings will be destroyed, and Florida officials are warning people to evacuate immediately. We strongly urge citizens to not stay in your homes, as they will surely be destroyed. People should try to evacuate as far north as possible, especially if you are located in the Eatonville area. Flooding will soon make evacuation difficult, so we urge people to evacuate immediately. People who stay behind are suggested to seek shelter and prepare for heavy winds and rainfall. In some areas where the storm is approaching, downpour and high winds have already begun as evacuation is becoming less of a possibility. Conditions are expected to get progressively worse over the next several hours, and who knows what damage the hurricane could cause as it approaches. We will continue reports of the damage and chaos caused by the hurricane as it develops. Carl, back to you.
All right, we're going to start with some more breaking news this evening. We're hearing that a search is underway for an 18-year-old woman who has ran away from home, leaving her husband behind. Janie Crawford is a young African-American woman who was last seen by her husband, Logan Killix, just a couple of days ago. Before she disappeared, they got into an argument, and Mr. Killix threatened to kill her. So obviously, they had a great relationship, and this disappearance was completely out of the blue, according to Mr. Killix. Miss Crawford is 18 years old, 5 foot 7 inches tall, and 128.28 pounds. She has long, straight black hair, beautiful eyes, beautiful lips, and was last seen wearing overalls before she went missing. She is suspected to possibly be with Joe Starks, an entrepreneur who also went missing around the same time. If you have any tips into the location of Janie Crawford, please call the number 800-588-2300-EMPIRE today.
Cái chết tuấn má chối đại, tối xí nai.
I will be translating for my brother. He feels very welcome in America, but he thinks all white people should suffer.
For Channel 7 News, I'm Vladimir Carlson, coming to you from outside of the courthouse in the small town of Eatonville. With the recent rabies outbreak caused by rabid animals attacking people, there has been a huge spike in violent crime and murder. Today's trial just concluded, where a local shop owner named Janie Crawford was found innocent of the murder of her husband, T-Cake. Her husband had allegedly attacked and tried to shoot her after contracting rabies.
Hello, we're here with Paula D, and she's going to be showing us today how to make tea and cakes for the character Tea-Cake.
Yes, alright y'all. So, first of all, we're going to need a cheeky little mug. Just like so. Looking good, everyone. And then, next what we're going to do, we're going to get ourselves a little pot. A little pot. And we're going to fill it up. Oh, hey Mal.
Yeah, just get...
Alright, now that you got your teapot filled with water, what we're going to do next is we're going to put this crazy little guy on this thing right on here. It might make a little beep. That means it's working. We're going to...
Turn it on. Get the heat going.
Alright, while we're waiting for that, I want to show y'all what we're working with today. A little peach rhubarb because we're in the South. You might think that we're at a school in a culinary classroom, but in fact, we are in
the South.
The South.
Unspecified state.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna take our cup and we're gonna actually prepare it. So we're gonna take our peach and rhubarb tea. Take our tea bag.
Here. Let me just do
Yeah, you can take that. Take it away. Slowly put it in.
Okay.
So we chose to make tea cake today because it's always third time's the charm, you know, and you gotta find the right one. And tea cake is always the right one for you. So, yeah.
While we prepare to make some tea cakes, it looks like our tea is gonna be done. So what we're gonna do right now, you wanna zoom in a little?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, we're gonna pour some water in here.
Oh yeah.
Don't make sure it's not too much.
Oh
because
yeah.
too much tea does
It's-
not make a
Gotta
person
have
happy.
equal amounts of tea and cake, hence the tea cake.
Exactly. And and you know what you can do if you're getting a little crazy around these parts? You can get yourself some honey. And you can just... Okay. Hold on now.
cut this part out. You know, you do what you're doing.
Okay, this is really not coming out.
Okay, well, like you gotta give it a whack or two.
And you gotta shake your honey up. Malik, keep this in. There's none. Be careful if your honey gets a little feisty. That's all right. That's just a characteristic of the southern honey, you know.
No, honey, we're gonna be actually using sugar today.
Oh.
Because I'm actually vegan and I don't like the mistreatment of bees.
Oh.
Which actually reminds me, back in the day, I was sitting out by a tree and I saw some bees pollinating the tree and the tree together, and it was really beautiful in my heart, you know.
Yeah.
Janie Crawford, yeah. So let's go.
She was that kind of lady, you know.
Yeah, she saw that in the book and was like turned on or something. But
Yeah, that's just
it really turned me on. All right, get that in there, Malik.
All right. So now we.
Okay, yeah, introduce the tea.
So now we got our peach rhubarb. We got our peach tea. It's hot. I wouldn't recommend. Don't want to spill any on me now.
So now it's time to make the cake portion of our tea cake.
And we're not talking about Josh's cake personally, but it does help in the making process if there is cake on hand.
Absolutely. So let's get down to business.
All right.
Okay, let's pretend to like mix stuff. I don't know.
Josh, what are you doing?
I'm just looking at this.
Get it together. Grab the ingredients. You know? Yeah. You're gonna throw stuff on me? Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
You know
sorry.
what it thinks.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Now let's make that cake.
Woo! All right, let's make some tea cake.
So now we're gonna put the flour in the bowl and try not to make a mess because we're gonna use the flour to get the tea cake. So now we got the flour in. We're gonna take it. We're gonna start mixing the flour together.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget the most important ingredient in your tea cakes is glass cooktop. You might think that you don't need it. You definitely 100% need it.
If you're cooking with glass on the stove, you need your glass cooktop. So just apply it. Yeah. So we want that grayish color. We're gonna start mixing it up. I think that's a great amount.
Awesome.
All right. So now we're gonna put this in the oven for about 15 minutes sharp, and we're gonna see how it turns out. So we're gonna add a little bit of water, mix it up. Oh, this is looking just like Grandma used to make it. We got our cookies, so let's see how our cake turns out.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together.